Hi, how are you? Today I will present the second of the 10 tips that I'm going to talk about to tie salmon flies. Today we are going to talk about how to ballast flies with these little things in thousand different ways that in many cases you will have heard about them but you don't know how to include them in your salmon flies. It's all about you can incorporate them into your flies to add weight so that they can go deeper and swim near the bottom of the river where your objective is supposed to be. I hope you like it and that is useful to you. Thank you. Nos vemos. Que vaya bien. Suerte. The first step is to burn the end of the inner tube with 1.8 millimeters where the metal tube will go. To fix it, it's always good to put a little drop of glue for fix the two parts and it does not move when we tie the fly. I show you several patterns in colors and lengths that are very versatile for many fly patterns. The last part of the video, we will see some examples of different metal tubes or tungsten beds in different salmon flies. What happens sometimes? Well, when you are going to place a metal tube or a tungsten ball, they do not fit inside. Therefore, the only solution is for it to be a smaller thickness for which you can find smaller diameter inner tubes on the market that allow you to continue working with any type of metal tube or bed tube like this. We have seen how to fit these metal tubes or tungsten beds only in the 1.8 inner tube. Now we are going to see how the 3 millimeters and 1.8 millimeters tubes can be used with the two classic tubes to make salmon flies. This allows us in the first place to hold the hook. We start by tying it as usual and there we can include a type of hair or fibers or dubbing that give the fly movement and translucency. Remember to always add a little drop of glue to fix the metal tubes or tungsten beds to the body of the fly. For example, you can see how a floating TTT tube looks much better and much more spectacular than if it were simply placed in a 1.8 millimeters tube. This type of metal tubes of different lengths allow us to make flies with long bodies that can also swim very deep in the river with their extra weight. Tungsten cones not only serve to make refrances or resnelda, they can also add weight to any type of flies attached to the body in the same way that these tungsten beds do, which I used a lot of my flies. As explained before, the first thing to do is put a drop of glue in the place where we want to fix the bed. very close to the bed, I always add a feather that tie, and after turning it and fixing it, I can add any type of material. We return to the 1.8 millimeters tube that we explained at the beginning, in which the hook was free. Now we are going to explain how in these metal tubes the hook can be hung on a small silicone tube. Any type of silicone tube on the market has an internal diameter of 3 millimeters, and therefore you can use it in general in any metal tube like this one. But make sure and be careful in choosing that size. There are others that have a specially designated part to introduce it like this. In any case, to fix the silicone tube is not necessary neither glue nor to tie it with the thread. I just need to explain how the front of the inner tube fits to the metal tube or tungsten cone or even some disc. The 1.8 millimeter tube is cut at the distance of 1.5 millimeter or 2 millimeters. Then it is melted with a lighter very carefully and depending on the thickness and hardness of the plastic until the plastic and metal merge. The glue that we have used and the plastic that has melted make them perfectly united and fixed. Finally, I'm going to give you some samples so that you can see flash finishing, like these red frances with rubber legs. This one also with a dark colored cone is red frances also with a lion's cock, which will be my next fly on this channel. This snail with a tube with a preformed head. These small red frances in a metallic tube. This small chartreuse Alice shrimp with a metallic tube. Or this one, the same pattern with a classic bottle tube. Also this sunray shadow with his metallic tube and his silicone tube. This Sierra Corva that proves that any fly can be ballasted with a metal tube. this big ram tied in two tubes with a TTT of frogging that permits put dubbing, fibers. And finally, this greenback scene with rubber legs. Ending the greenback scene in this time is very good, I think. Tied as described before, and that you can see many other examples of the channel. As you can see, the variety can be infinite. I hope you like it. See you soon. Take care, please. Thank you.